It's been 3 decades since the streets of Marshville heard the phrase, "Lights, camera, action." The motion picture, The Color Purple, was filmed in Marshville and surrounding areas during the summer of 1985. Dustin Etheridge joins us now on how the film's impact is still being felt 30 years later.
That's right, Jeff. Parts of the movie were filmed in California and as far away as Kenya. However, it's the quiet town of Marshville that was transformed to reflect life in the South in the early 1900s. But for this tale of transformation, we've got to go back to the summer of 1985.
More than anything, God loved admiration.
It was July of 1985 when director Steven Spielberg came to town to begin production of The Color Purple. It was his 8th film, and it stands out on his resume for being a shift from the summer blockbuster films he's become known for making. And Spielberg brought some famous friends with him: Danny Glover, Whoopi Goldberg, and in her feature film debut, Oprah Winfrey.
To fight in my own house.
Just to name a few. The streets of Marshville were transformed into a movie set, locals were cast as extras, and Union County became ground zero for Steven Spielberg's next Hollywood hit. The film's production was covered heavily by community newspaper The Union News and Home, now called the Home News and owned by Wingate University. Marshville today looks much different than it did in the summer of '85. Sure, the water tower and the train tracks are still there, but what Spielberg and his team did to the town during production seemed to inject new life into the community.
Well, it caused a lot of excitement here. It did, because I don't know that there had ever been a movie filmed here before.
The Marshville History Museum has its own display of artifacts and memorabilia from The Color Purple, and in the spirit of preservation, they had locals who were part of the film's production record their memories and accounts to these CDs.
The production company provided a trailer for us.
And we met Larry Fishman over there, and we sat and talked for about an hour.
They were using period wallpaper, paints, and materials such as that. And so they had people out there with paintbrushes, small paintbrushes, artist brushes, painting the flowers themselves to make them show up better on film.
Margaret Pigg from the History Museum recalls the excitement of the summer of '85 and what the movie has meant to Marshville.
And a lot of money was being spent, and people were being invited to be extras.
And this past summer, the town held an entire week of commemoration for the 30th anniversary of The Color Purple, including this Color Purple luncheon. Locals young and old gathered together for lunch and fellowship at Kate Clyde's Catering on Main Street in Marshville, recalling the glory days of their ticket to Tinseltown. The week-long celebration was capped off with a screening of the film at the Ansonia Theater in Wadesboro, as several key scenes from the film were shot in neighboring Anson County as well.
So can you give me some sugar?
And with the sleepy charm that Marshville brings, you don't have to be a film buff to see why Spielberg chose the town to represent small-town Southern America. Many of the buildings used in the film's production were there before The Color Purple, and they're still here today, relatively unchanged, save for a fresh coat of paint or two. The summer of '85 was an exciting time in Marshville and Union County, and the memories made while The Color Purple was being filmed here
He says, welcome.
will surely live on long after the credits run.
The Color Purple wrapped up production in August of 1985 and was released nationwide on February 7th, 1986. It would go on to gross more than $98 million between 1986 and 1987. The film was nominated for 11 Academy Awards and earned Steven Spielberg his first award for Best Motion Picture Director from the Directors Guild of America. But what's more important than the dollar signs and Oscars, Jeff, is that the film put Marshville, North Carolina on the map and gave audiences worldwide a glimpse of what we like to call Sweet Union.
Right you are, Dustin. Thanks so much.